So, Gauss and Weingarten formula, these are very important formulas for surfaces. So, as you know, if you have a surface r equal to r of u1 u2 with parameters u1 and u2. So, I assume that the surface is regular of at least class C2. So, this will be assumed throughout. We also know that R I means the derivative of r with respect to u I is running from 1 to 2. So, in both cases it is a tangent vector. In fact, we say it is a basic tangent vector and it is tangential to the parametric curve. R1 is tangent to u1 curve and R2 is tangent to u2 curve. Now, next we think of finding the derivative of Ri. So, now consider the derivative of these tangent vectors del Ri over del uj. We should denote this derivative by the symbol Rij. We do not know where will this vector be. About Ri you have seen. You have seen that if these are the two parametric curves, R1 will be tangent to u1 curve, R2 is tangent to u2 curve, and if you differentiate R2 or R1, then you will be getting a vector which may not be tangential to the surface and it may not be normal to the surface as well. So, what we expect in general that this will be a vector which will be lying in the space generated by the tangent vectors and the normal. So, you have got at every point these three vectors, two basic tangent vector and one normal. So, everything would lie in this space of generated by R1 and R1, R2 and n. So, I expect that this would be a vector which is a linear combination of R k, I j corresponding to these I j plus some other thing, some other coefficient alpha I j into n. So, we are writing just a linear combination in the right side of tangent vectors and normal. Okay. So, this is tangential to the surface and this component is normal to the surface. Now, these are certain coefficients. These coefficients I call as Christoffel symbol. The coefficient along the tangent plane we will be calling as Christoffel symbol of second kind. Christoffel symbols of second kind. First kind Christoffel symbol will appear little later. Alpha I j we do not know what it is, but we will determine what it is. So, this we have got the derivative of basic tangent vector, that is R I j is some scalars k I j into R k plus some other coefficient alpha I j into n. Okay, this we will discuss little later, but let us see what alpha I j's are. So, in order to know alpha I j, what I will be doing? I will be taking dot product with n in both sides of this equation. So, taking dot product with n. In both sides of the above equation, that will give you R I j dot n in the left side. In the right side, you will be having k I j R k dot n plus alpha I j only, n dot n will be 1. N stands for unit normal to the surface. Moreover, R k is a tangent vector and n is a normal vector. So, this dot product will be 0. Look at the left side, Rij dot n, we know already it is the coefficient of second fundamental form. So, left side is simply Bij and the right side is alpha ij. So, you have determined these unknown scalars alpha ij's. So, what we have now, that these coefficients of n are nothing but the coefficient of second fundamental form. So, this equation now takes the form. So, the equation in the box takes the form, the equation in the box takes the form. After determining these scalar alpha ij, you get R I j equal to gamma k I j into R k plus B I j into n. Now, this box formula is called the Gauss formula. So, this is what the Gauss formula is. So, Gauss formula, roughly speaking, only tells you how the derivative of basic tangent vectors is expressed. So, this is an expression for the derivative of basic tangent vector. It has some tangential component and some normal component. So, the first one is tangential part, the other one is the normal part. Okay. Now, next what we will be doing here, what we did, we discussed the derivative of tangent vector. Now, the natural question is, what is the derivative of the normal vector? Can we express it in terms of known quantities? The answer is yes. That will in fact give you another formula called Weingarten formula. Yes, yes, derivatives, yes, yes, derivative, yes, similar thing, but the formula is, yes, that is right, that is right. So, Weingarten formula, so what we have, suppose n is the unit normal. So, we have on a surface this unit normal. Now, let us find the derivative. You see, a normal is okay, we call it a vector, but it is a vector field. It varies when you move along the surface. That is why we think of differentiating. Fixed quantities are not differentiated because their result is 0. So, now differentiate n with respect to u I. So, derivative of n with respect to u I will be denoted by n I. Okay. Now, look at n I, what n I is? N I, the derivative of n with respect to u I, it is in fact perpendicular to n. It is easy to observe, it is easy to observe that n I is perpendicular to n. How do you realize? You simply differentiate n dot n equal to 1. If you differentiate it, what you will be getting? N I dot n equal to 0, and that tells you n I is perpendicular to. Okay, since we have done it there, so I need not do it here. So, n I is perpendicular to n. Now, you have here a 3-dimensional space generated by tangent vectors and the normal. So, something perpendicular to the normal will be tangential to the surface, and therefore, n I must be a linear combination of basic tangent vector. I will write down this as okay, B I j R j. So, this is the linear combination of basic tangent vector R j. These are some quantities which I am denoting deliberately by a known symbol B I j. It is not the same B I j, little different, but you will see this will turn out to be related with our old coefficient of second fundamental form. Okay. So, this is relation number 1 that you have got. Now, we will first explore what these Bij's are. So, what I will do, I will take the dot product with R k in both sides. So, taking dot product with R k. In both side, of course. So, left side will be, I will put a minus sign also for only calculation point of view. So, the left side is n I dot R k and the right side will be G j k into B j I. Okay. And there is a minus sign also, and n I dot R k we know it is B I k minus B I k in fact. So, this implies that minus times B I k is equal to minus time G j k into B j I. So, this minus and minus are gone. What you get is that B I k is equal to G j k into B j I. Now, you can see that this B upper j lower I is related with B I k. These are known quantities. So, unknown quantities have been expressed in terms of known quantities. So, this gives you idea what B j i's are. If you want an explicit expression of B j I in terms of B k I, you can work that out also. So, what do you do now? You multiply both sides by G k m. Okay. So, this multiplication will give you that G k m into B I k equal to G k m or G m k same thing into G k j same thing into B j I. G I j's are symmetric both upper and lower. So, we do not mind interchanging them. So, this becomes Kronecker delta m j into B j I, and there is a j is a dummy index. So, there will be a summation over j. When the value of j will be same as m, its value will be 1, otherwise it will be 0, and this makes it B m I. So, what you get is that your B m I your, or you can say B j I is equal to G k j into B I. I have made m as j, okay, B I k or B k I, whatever, because B I j is also all symmetric. So, I can all the time interchange accordingly. So, look at these relation. We have determined explicitly B j I, and here you have B lower I j related to B upper j I. So, these are the two relations which tells you the relationship between B upper j I with B lower I j. Okay. Now, I will replace this value over here in formula number 1. So, with this value of B j I, formula 1 becomes the following. I can rub it off, and substituting the value of B j I from this box, you may call it number 2 or you call it 2, and this you may call as 3. These relations are important. So, with this value from 3, equation 1 will give you n I equal to minus times B j I means GKJ into BKI into RJ. So, this formula in the box number 4 is called the Weingarten formula. Formula 4 is the Weingarten formula, is called the Weingarten formula. All right, and you can see here J is a dummy index because J is coming twice, K is a dummy index, and I is a free index. It is coming in accordance with this I. Okay. Now, there are two observations over here. If you look at the two box formulas number 2 and number 3, you will observe certain things about G lower I j and G upper j I. If you look at formula number 2, what is happening over here? You are multiplying B upper j lower I by G lower j k, and what is the result? This j is gone and k is coming over here. Is it right? This is how I can read this formula. Similarly, if you want to read this formula number 3, what you see that G upper k j, when it multiplies with B k I, what it does? It brings this index j up here, whereas what is happening? It lowers this index to down here. So, I can say from these two relations 2 and 3 that G lower I j lowers the index of a tensor to which it is multiplying, whereas G upper j I is raising the index. So, these are the two observations. You can note it down here as a remark. G upper I j as tensor quantity raises the index of a tensor to which it multiplies, raises the index of a tensor to which it multiplies, and G lower I j and G lower I j lowers the index of the tensor to which it multiplies. This observation you will notice at other places also, or sometime we will choose the new tensor in such a manner that this convention is fixed up. Okay. Now, come to the Christoffel symbol. In the Gauss formula, we have explored these coefficients gamma k I j. They are called Christoffel symbols. Now, we will look their relationship with some known quantities on the surface, so that Christoffel symbols are known to us. So, next is Christoffel symbols. तो क्रिस्टोफल सिंबल हमारे सामने आए एज कोफिशिएंट्स ऑफ टेंजेंट वेक्टर इन द एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ डेरिवेटिव ऑफ आर आई. तो अब हमने इसको सिर्फ एज ए कोफिशिएंट देखा था. अब हम इसकी प्रॉपर्टीज़ और इसके रिलेशन बाकी ज्योमेट्रिक इन्वेरिएंट ऑफ द सरफेस से देखेंगे, ताकि इसके बारे में हम कुछ और समझ सकें कि ये इसका ज्योमेट्रिक बिहेवियर क्या है. ओके, सो दैट इज़ व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू डू नाउ. So, what I will be doing, first I will be taking dot product with some r I over here. So, that this term is gone off and only k I j is left in the right side. So, taking dot product with r I j k l with r l in both sides of Gauss formula, in both sides of Gauss formula. So, in the left hand side I will be getting r I j dot r k r l, and in the right side I will be having k I j into, when you will take dot product of r k with r l, it will become g k l, and the last term will become 0, but anyway let me write down b I j n dot r l, and this is 0, because one is normal, other is tangent vector. So, this goes off. So, what do you see here, that r I j dot r l equal to g k l or l k into g k I j. तो अभी थोड़ी देर पहले जो बिहेवियर हमने जी लोअर आई जे का देखा, उसको अगर हम जहन में रखें तो लेफ़्ट साइड में जो क्वांटिटी है जिसको हम नहीं जानते हैं कि ये क्या है, उसका नाम इसके बिहेवियर के अंदाज से हम लिख सकते हैं कि ये क्या होना चाहिए. सो दिस क्वांटिटी इन द लेफ्ट साइड which is a scalar quantity, I will be denoting by the symbol I j l, and the right side is g l k into k I j. ये सिंबल जानबूझ के इस तरह से चूज़ किया गया कि जी लोअर आई जे का बिहेवियर हमने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले ऑब्जर्व किया कि व्हाट जी लोअर आई जे डज, इट लोअर्स द इंडेक्स ऑफ ए टेंसर or some non-tensors also. So, this k goes off and L comes over here. So, this index has been brought down. So, this, when this index is brought down, it will become I j L. So, this is the notation, and this quantity by definition is R I j L. So, R I j dot L, R L. Now, this new symbol I will be calling as the Christoffel symbol of first kind. So, these are Christoffel symbol of first kind. इसकी ओरिजिनल डेफिनेशन क्या हुई? इसकी ओरिजिनल डेफिनेशन हुई, इट इज़ द डॉट प्रोडक्ट ऑफ आर आई जे with R L, and how it is related with your old Christoffel symbol of second kind, it is like this. So, both the Christoffel symbol are related to each other. If you want to know Christoffel symbol in terms of second kind, in terms of Christoffel symbol of first kind, that can be done. Okay, how would you do? You just multiply it by G upper L, because k is fixed. So, what you do is, now if I call this relation, last number क्या था? 4 4 था शायद. So, इसको 5 कर लीजिए. Okay. So, now multiplying 5 by G by G m L in both sides. Okay. So, what you will be getting, the left side is I j L and you are multiplying it by G m L. So, multiply in the right also G m L into GLK into Kij. Look what will happen in the right side. These two matrices are inverse of each other. L is a dummy index. So, this will become Kronecker delta Mk and this is Kij. So, K is a dummy index. So, there will be summation over K. When K becomes equal to M, its value will be 1 and the other entries will be 0. So, it will become Mij. So, Christoffel symbol of second kind Mij is actually equal to GML into IJL. This is how Christoffel symbol of second kind is related to Christoffel symbol of first kind, and this is how Christoffel symbol of first kind is related to Christoffel symbol of second kind. So, the only thing that you notice once again over here, that G lower Ij is lowering the index, G upper Ij is raising the index. So, this is further confirmed the role of G lower Ij and G upper Ij's. Okay. Now, we would like to see whether these Christoffel symbol are related to some other quantities also. So, the answer is yes, they can be expressed in terms of the derivative of Gij's. This is also interesting. So, to find a formula of Christoffel symbol of second kind in terms of the derivative of Gij, what I will do is I will differentiate. So, differentiating Gij's with respect to UK's. Okay. So, first of all I will differentiate Gij with respect to UK and see what happens. You can write down these Gij's as Ri dot Rj with respect to UK. You will differentiate by product rule. So, this will be derivative of Ri with respect to UK will be Rik, Rj as it is, okay, plus Ri as it is, and derivative of Rj with respect to UK is denoted by Rjk. Now, you recollect the definition of Christoffel symbols of first kind. So, the first term in the right side will be Ikj, Christoffel symbol of first kind. The second one is Jki, because this we read first. Okay. So, what you get is that delta Gij with respect to UK is equal to Ikj plus Jki, and this is number 1. Okay. Similarly, I can write down other derivatives also. Similarly, if I work out the derivative of Gik with respect to UK, so what I am doing? I am interchanging J and K. So, interchanging J and K over here will give you Ijk, J and K are interchanged in the right side. So, this will be Kji. This is number 2. Okay. Now, I have del Ik upon del Uj. I am sorry. J. Next I will interchange I and k. Okay. So, this will be delta of g j k upon del u. Okay. So, that will become I और k को इंटरचेंज किया है आपने यहाँ पे, तो ये हो जाएगा k I j प्लस j I k. अच्छा, बिफोर आई प्रोसीड फर्दर, एक बात जो मैं बतानी भूल गया था कि क्रिस्टोफल सिंबल में भी 3 इंडेक्स हैं, 1 सुपरस्क्रिप्ट एंड 2 सबस्क्रिप्ट। तो आप गॉस फार्मूले को देखें अगर, तो पता चलता है कि ये सबस्क्रिप्ट में सिमेट्रिक है. You can interchange I and j. So, what follows directly from here is that k I j is same as k j I. Okay. Or for the Christoffel symbol of first kind, which are defined as I j k was equal to R I j dot R k. So, this is also symmetric in I and j. So, in the first two indices, the first kind Christoffel symbol also symmetric. So, these things should be kept in mind. Now, here I will add 2 and 3 and subtract number 1. So, 2 plus 3 minus 1, it gives me what? Okay. So, जो टर्म कैंसिल हो रहा हो वो यहीं से कैंसिल कर दीजिए, जे आई के आई जे के, फर्स्ट टर्म आई के जे, yes, I j k is positive and this will be negative. So, they will cancel out each other, and j k I j k I. So, k j I and j k I are also same. I said that this is symmetric in the first two indices. So, these two will cancel. First term I k j. Oh, this is wrong. I k and k. I am sorry. This will cancel. Okay, you are right. So, this is there. K j I and j k I are same. So, they will cancel each other. Okay. Now, I j k and j I k are same. So, I will write down this is 2 times I j k. So, 2 times I j k is equal to what is left? These two are added. So, this is del of g I k upon del u j plus delta g j k upon del u I minus delta g I j upon del u k, and this gives me I j k equal to half of del g I k upon del u j plus del g j k upon del u I minus delta g I j upon delta u k. So, this is the formula number 6. 1 to 3 is good. So, you can call it 4. So, this is the formula for Christoffel symbol of first kind in terms of the derivative of g I j's. Similarly, I can find a formula for Christoffel symbol of second kind. Christoffel symbol of second kind, for example, if you want, what will be Mij. So, this will be equal to G G what M k into I j k. I can write like this. And now the value of I j k is available to me. So, this will become equal to half of G m k into delta G I k upon delta U j plus delta G j k upon del U I minus delta G I j upon delta U k. So, you got the formula for Christoffel symbol of second kind in terms of the derivative of G I j's. So, this completely tells what Christoffel symbols are. Okay. We know several relation of these Christoffel symbol. Okay. Some exercise on Christoffel symbol in our next lecture. We will be discussing the law of transformation for Christoffel symbol as well. So, this thing we will be doing in our next lecture.